Lori, you just attended the Cultivating Seed System workshop at NASW 2018. What are some reflections? What are some things that you can take, you would like to share with the rest of the world about this Cultivating Seed System framework?
I found the framework to be a very non-judgmental framework. It's one that helps to take care of the stigma. I noticed in your framework there is not a lot of mention as far as mental health or mental illness. In my opinion, illness automatically puts up barriers. It's something that's contagious. You don't want to get near. You don't want people to touch you.
Yeah.
Whereas social emotional needs allows people to express what they're going through and what they're feeling without feeling like they've already been judged, labeled, deemed as not necessary to society or a burden on society.
Yeah.
This allows people to talk about what they need in a way that they can do it so it's not hurting them.
You find that to be more helpful. I know you shared earlier, some of your personal story. So how beneficial you think utilizing or focusing on the social emotional competencies versus the traditional mental health language of looking at mental illness as a dis-ease. Like, in fact, you just said people may want to shun you, if that is the thing that becomes the
Right, you have to look at the
upfront
whole
label.
person. So when you're looking at a person, they aren't just their diagnosis. They aren't just a person
Thank
who
you
has
for saying that.
for schizophrenic or diabetic or a
Yeah.
cardiac patient.
Yeah.
They are a person who is dealing with something, whether
A
it is
condition.
a psychoneural interruption, if it is a lack of the appropriate chemicals that might be going through the brain. Just like if somebody has a lack of a pancreas producing insulin, they need help, they need treatment. Some
Yeah.
might be talk therapy, some might be medication therapies. But if you're not comfortable even seeking the treatments that you need because you're going to be labeled, stigmatized, all of a sudden the bad person in the room,
Yep.
you're not going to go.
Yep.
When you deal with the social emotional, you have people who are more willing, again, to focus on what they need and understanding that when you're dealing with those psychoneural issues,
Yeah.
it's not something that you are in always control of. There are situations that will create a situation where there's depression or anxiety or fear based on walking down a dark alley in the middle of the night, you can get yourself out of. But there are a lot where you can't and you need that assistance.
Yeah.
And by having it looked at as a condition that's as medical as your heart, your pancreas, your spleen, your lungs, whatever it is, people are more willing to seek treatment. People feel less that there's something wrong with them and what did I do wrong to deserve this curse versus no, I need to take my medication, I need to talk to people just like any.
So there are a lot of psychosocial issues that could also contribute
There are
to
a lot
that.
of social issues that can contribute to that too. As a matter of fact, I was just talking with your partner about how I work in a state where there's a lot of rural area.
Yep.
So in some of our rural areas, some of those basic social needs can't even be met. There might not be a homeless shelter.
Exactly.
There might not be an outpatient clinic to deal with the social emotional needs of a person.
Exactly.
So they're traveling 2 hours to get to the assistance they need. Now, if you're looking at an agricultural rural area like where many of my people live, if it's spring, if it's summer, if it's fall and it's time to plant or cultivate or harvest, you're not taking 4 hours out of your day to drive and another hour for an appointment to meet with somebody.
So
So
they
now
make
the
it work.
barrier is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
On top of it, you may not even realize that there is transportation. Our state provides transportation for people who are on medical assistance to get there. So now it could be cost prohibitive to drive your car, truck to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So we do have some places now that are starting rural initiatives where they take the providers out to the people who need the services. But there's still a lot of barriers there.
That barriers
A lot
continue.
of barriers there. And even culturally, we've had people, I've lived next to a family who had somebody with these social emotional needs, but because their culture doesn't want to recognize it, we lived next door to them for 3 years. I met the family member once. All the family parties, the family member was tucked away safely in the house away from everybody else. So they were isolated.
So you see this room of time process, the Cultivating Seed System, as solution then to helping?
I
How
see-
you see it?
I see this as being a solution. It's meeting people where they are. It's understanding not only the social, economic, but you integrate some cultural in there as well. And if you're dealing with people from different cultures and different socioeconomic backgrounds, and even different educational backgrounds, you have to be able to speak in language that they understand. You have to
Absolutely.
respect the rights and the cultures. Some cultures, my male counterparts cannot go and talk to the female involved because the female involved is not allowed to talk about their health in any way, shape, or form
Yeah.
to the male counterpart. So you need to know who you're working with before you can even get in the door. You send the
Yeah.
wrong person, you're automatically shut out. You don't even get to talk about those social or emotional needs
Yeah.
that they need to talk about.
Yeah.